Welcome to another episode of season 4 of Dr. G at the Heart of Healthcare. We are here for IM 2026 highlights with the fabulous Dr. Maia Carter, with all those things after her name, newly minted fellow of the
Hey.
American College of Physicians. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. G. It's an honor to be on your show. I appreciate you having me here.
Oh, it's so fun. I'm excited to learn all about you. Um, the audience knows I do this episode every year. Last year we went to New Orleans. That's my stole last year.
All
And my
right.
mask is there from being in NOLA.
Uh-huh.
This year we went to San Francisco and had a great conference. And I had the wonderful experience of meeting Dr. Carter at the Women in Medicine luncheon, and we've been
Yes.
LinkedIn friends. And so I'm so happy
Yes.
I got to meet you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was wonderful seeing you there, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you today.
Yeah, where did you fly into San Francisco from?
I flew in from Las Vegas. So it was a
Vegas.
short flight, but it was great to be in the Bay Area. I did my training in internal medicine in the Bay Area in Oakland, California. So I trained at the county hospital there, Alameda County Medical Center. So it was kind of familiar to go back to the Bay and enjoy that. So I had a great time. It was a great conference.
It sure was. And since you already started on, your training, give us like the 30-second bio about Dr. Carter. Tell us who you are, where
Sure,
you're from.
sure. So I'm Dr. Maia Carter. I am originally from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I did my medical school and graduate school training at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., internal medicine at Alameda County Medical Center in Oakland, California. I did a preventive cardiology fellowship in Kansas City, Missouri at St. Luke's Hospital. And, I've been working for the federal sector for the last 16 years, enjoying that, and also been in leadership for the last 11 years. And I work on a national level now. So I'm excited about, the delivery of care and how to implement and expand virtual tools and things like that across the enterprise. And I am excited about my own coaching business as well. So, a little bit over a year ago, I launched my own coaching business, Dr. Maya Enterprises LLC. And because, I have this heart to really help clinicians transition into leadership roles. 11 years ago, when I went into leadership, there was no clear roadmap on how to do that as a clinician, as a physician. And so I had to create a framework for myself, and I love to share that with other people and put it in my book, The Leadership Prescription, as well.
That's fantastic. And we'll jump more into that a little bit later. And then you're also a mom, right? Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
we can't
I'm a
leave that out.
mom through. I know that's
See my
right. Through
kitties
all
right
that.
here.
And that is so important because we have so many dimensions to us as physicians, right? And we have been so conditioned to focus on that medicine, right, for so many years. But the reality is we have so many intersectionalities that we have learning to continue to appreciate. So I have two children, they'll be 14 and 15 in July, two girls. So we are right there in the teenage years, but it's an exciting and busy time. So juggling the work-life integration, right? And
Yes, work life
yes,
integration. I learned that
yes,
last year.
work-life
Yes.
integration.
Yes.
And like I said, I don't know if I'll ever get to balance, but I got a good juggle going. Okay, I got a good juggle going and leveraging my resources in the community. When people say, if you need help, let me know. I've learned to say, yes, I need help, and I will let you know. And just receive the blessing so that we can continue to be well, right? We well at work and we well at home and, get the support we need. We don't need to try to do all this alone.
Exactly. There's no super women over here. We
Right?
we we just work life integration. I love that you shared the teenagers, been there, done
Yes.
that. You're going to have a
Mhm.
driver soon, so things will change.
I know, I know. I'm excited about that. Of course, I'm a little bit nervous about that too, but that is a huge milestone. So yeah, I think that both of them will be good drivers, good
Yeah.
drivers. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
lots of
give you tips
exciting
on that
things coming.
offline. It can be a
Yeah,
little
I will
nerve
need all the
wracking.
tips.
Yeah, well, my audience knows I'm an empty nester. I'm counting down to my next milestone of being mother of the groom. So I'm excited for that coming
Ooh,
soon.
all
So
right. Yes.
it's always about life. So thank you for sharing that, and congrats on your accomplishment, becoming a fellow. So how did you
Yes.
enjoy that honor?
That was such an honor, for a while now. I've been seeing that fellow status on my ACP colleagues when I would go to our chapter meetings, and I said, wow, fellow status, that sounds really great, and I was just trying to think the other day, like, gosh, how long have I been in ACP? It's got to be since med school, right? And yeah, so I just looked into it and applied for it and met the criteria. So I'm feel very honored to be a part of the convocation. It was such a beautiful ceremony, so much excitement, so much appreciation about our global impact with ACP, and to have everyone there with our stoles on and all the awards they were giving out is just a proud moment, right? A proud moment. I never
Yes.
thought. I always say, I said, okay, this is the last graduation convocation. And then next thing I know, I'm getting another certification or something. So I think this may be my last one. I don't know. I might go for the MACP next. We'll
Oh
look
yeah.
into that.
Oh yeah. I think I see it coming. I think I see it
Okay.
coming. Well, congrats on that. It's nice to be honored and recognized for your work. And so, it's inspiring. So, congrats on that. So, let's just jump into the story. So,
Okay.
Dr. Carter, she was a panelist at that highly anticipated
Yes.
Women in Medicine luncheon. That is always my favorite thing of the year. I'm glad
Mhm.
it's ticketed now because I know a couple years ago, there was a bouncer at the door, and when it was overcrowded, you couldn't get in. And so I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
no. So now we buy a ticket, so we get
Hmm.
in, and it's wonderful. And I was so excited to see you on the panel,
Hmm.
and breaking news, ACP launched the Professional Development Women in Medicine Initiative. And so you were speaking
Yes.
to that. So tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. Just to have received that email, first of all, inviting me to be a panelist. And that was just like, wow, that was just such an honor to be asked to do that. Of course, butterflies in my stomach. As much as I present and I'm very vocal and I do all these presentations for my national director job and everything, I still get those butterflies. I still get nervous. So it was definitely a big moment for me to get up there on that stage and share from my heart, share and answer the questions as best I could. But it was beautiful to be in that room full of all women physicians. Like, wow, every one of us has such a dynamic story. And I love this Women in Medicine series that's coming up. I know I have it on my calendar to tune in on June 12th for the negotiation. Like, I don't think we can get enough negotiation skills and support. And so it was just a wonderful atmosphere to be able, again, to share the realness of what it is from day to day as a woman physician juggling, wanting to really perform well at work. You've got your children, you may have your spouse or your partner, you've got all these things that are happening, and really learning to tune into ourselves, right? And asking, what do we need? Like, that's my favorite question to ask myself. What do I need right now? Right. And really kind of getting into a heart space, because we can live in our minds so so much, but coming into a heart space of saying, what am I in alignment? Am I still in alignment? Do I need to shift something mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the circle of folks I'm hanging around in order to continue to prosper and thrive.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that because being a woman is a
Hmm.
superpower, I believe, and we
Yeah.
shouldn't shut that heart
Uh-huh.
space out. And you
Yes.
said that so beautifully. And I love how you mentioned the topic that's coming up about negotiation, because sometimes, I hope I don't say this wrong, but we all know there's a disparity in, compensation and things like that. That's well
Mm-hmm.
known. And I was reading a book, the book Start With Yourself, Emma Grady. I don't know if you're familiar with
Oh,
that, but
okay.
she has a
Yes.
podcast called Aspire. I'm a new fan. And
My
so she
goodness.
talked about how women, um, we're often asked to do things for free, like just yesterday. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like, no man would ever be asked to do things. They always do things transactional, and we
Yes.
need to do a better job of that.
Yes.
And so
Oh my
I
gosh.
just heard that in that
Okay,
book.
well, I'm gonna tune into that, put that on my list
I'll
for
text it to
podcast.
you when we get
Yes,
off.
please do. You
Yeah,
know
but
what? We
she
have to
she's
vote for
something.
ourselves. We are just as important as anyone else. We need to give the same. As physicians, we have given so much compassion, so much support, to everyone around us, our patients, our kids, our colleagues, so much gentleness and care and all of these things. And we need to give that all of that back to ourselves, right?
Amen.
And stand up for ourselves and say yes, expect it and like a normal conversation for compensation, all of those things. And you're right, there's that disparity there. And part of it is, learning the right language and advocacy for ourselves and sharing information. I'm big on sharing information. So I'm sure whatever I learn on June 12th, I will be so excited to share it with my colleagues here in Las Vegas. We have a group called the Fierce Female Physicians of Las Vegas.
Hello. I
We
might want
just
to do a
create
branch in
Okay,
California.
okay, yes, come on over. And we just put a WhatsApp group together and we share resources and we support each other. We celebrate, triumphs. And, those are some things like, hey, I learned this today, right? So we're not alone. We have community.
That's awesome. And then I forgot to share my thing. Everyone knows I'm so
Woo!
obnoxious with this
Yes.
every year. I have to
I
have the
love it.
most stickers. So I was coming in from San Diego.
Uh-huh.
And I love how they have the San Francisco treat. That's old school rice
Okay.
roni. Remember that
Yeah, I
commercial?
remember that. Yes.
10-year member, of course, more than that. I color outside the lines. I'm a
Uh-huh.
woman in medicine. She, her, air sign, Aquarius,
Yes.
yogi,
Yes.
judge of the, I
Posters.
love the med
Uh-huh.
student posters
Yes.
and the resident posters. And I'm a woman in medicine. Again, I had to do that one twice, I guess.
Oh my
But
goodness. They
it
had some
was
really great stickers this year. I enjoy that. Really out of the box thinking. That was creative.
it's so fun. So yeah, we had a blast there. I was able to connect with Indu, one of my Twitter friends, back when it
Mm,
was Med Twitter, and so we loved everything you spoke about. So let's jump into the
okay.
conference part.
Okay.
Like I usually share, we share and compare our favorite sessions. My
Uh-huh.
strategy is always to hit all the updates. So the updates in
Mm,
cardiology, endocrinology, all the ologies. But my favorite would be the Women in Medicine update because now suddenly HRT is everywhere on social media. And I
yes.
believe that that person just did a really good job. I don't have her name handy,
Mm,
but she laid out the whole history of everything
yes.
and it was fantastic. So I told everyone at my table, please listen to that recording. Hopefully
Yeah.
they did. And I
Uh-huh.
loved they did that concierge medicine one too. So I love that since that's
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
lane. What stood
Yes.
out to you? Because I know you were working the whole time, right?
I know I was
Coaching.
enjoying myself over there at the ACP peer coaching booth, right? Coaching my peers and having a good time over there. But you know what? I love the updates as well. But what comes to mind is the conversations around ethics, right? And encouraging us all to ask questions early and not try to figure things out alone as we sometimes do as physicians. We can easily isolate ourselves and kind of run ourselves ragged trying to figure out this and look this up. And all we needed to do was just look up and ask a question. And somebody has already been there and done it and been able to kind of help you navigate that tough situation with a colleague or a patient, and help you get closer to the right decision.
Hmm. So are the sessions at the conference, how does that work at the yearly conference? Did they sign up before? Did they? have a relationship with you? How did
Yeah,
that work?
I did not know them at all. So we were strangers meeting. So they signed up in advance. And so the process owners of the peer coaching program, they gave me a schedule and they said, okay, here are your clients, right? And so I had 30 minutes for each person. So we had little private booths set up and I went in there. They had already figured out what they wanted to talk to me about. So there's a lot of pre-work done in advance. So we just got to hit the ground running with the 30 minutes and really it was really fascinating. So I got to see, I don't know, gosh, maybe six or seven, six or seven of my physician peers, and anywhere from family transitions, career transitions, people wanting to more out of their career, the next step, and how to navigate. So it was really, really great. You know, some folks are in careers where they're locked into contracts, right? And they know this is not their destiny. This is not where they need to be for the next 5 years. And let's create a strategy to get to their next level. Um, yes, see, how do I navigate my dreams and the things that I want to do for my career and juggle it with my husband and my family? What are my non-negotiables, right? Who else do I need to bring on board when I'm transitioning into my own business? And how do I set this up for success? I'm scared. I've never done this before, but I feel something pulling me to something more. So those were the exciting topics that I was just privileged to be able to jump in and help them create their next steps. And it's coaching, right? So with the coaching philosophy, it's always about the answer lies within the coachee. So I'm not giving advice. I'm not telling them what they need to do. I've got to hold myself back because sometimes I've been there already and I just want to say, let me tell you. But but I hold back and ask them the right questions so that they come up with the answers and they help, to kind of navigate. And I'm always about the headspace, and kind of what are you thinking? And then the heart space, what are you feeling? What does success feel like to you? How do you know when you've gotten there? And really kind of taking a second to reflect. I think we do so much. We're do, task, task, task that we just to sit back and think and feel, to make sure we're in alignment with where we need to go next.
You repeating that, it's taken me back to the moment of you saying that at the Women in Medicine conference. You kept talking about take a moment to pause
Mm-hmm.
instead of react.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it lives. So then we can hear. We can hear
Yes,
and we
yes.
can connect this mind and heart and do what we're supposed to do in this world.
And that's what I continually work on for myself. So I've had to learn that because I'm not sure if it's just my personality or it's the medical training, but I'm so driven that I can think myself into wherever. And so I have had to be so intentional with myself. And I believe my children have helped me with this. They've always been very present right here, right now in the moment to slow down, to breathe. Like they'll say, Mommy, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, Mommy.
That's
And so
awesome.
I just breathe and just think about it and acknowledge my feelings, right? Like, what am I feeling right now? Do I need to lay down? Do I need to do something else? Take a break? I don't need to be relentless, right? And so constantly being intentional, and that's showing to me, it's like showing myself love when I acknowledge all of me, not just the doctor part, not just the mommy part, not just but all of it comes together.
Wow. And that's teaching your young ladies so much. They're going to
Mm.
go so far because they are seeing it modeled by their mother. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Well, that is fantastic. So you have a book. So give us the two-sentence summary of your book.
Okay.
And then how do we know when we need to call you and set up a coaching
I know
session?
that's right. Yeah. So I'm just so blessed to have written this book. And I think I said this at the Women in Medicine conference. I don't think I could have written this book without having been coached myself, because through coaching, I have a coach, I got a mentor, and I got a therapist, all three of them. Okay, it take the whole village for me. But but because it allowed me to open up and slow down. And I walked through my journey as what it felt like when I was first tapped to lead 11 years ago. Because I had clinical excellence. I'm seeing patients, every day, back to back patients doing great in my comfort zone. And then the opportunity came to move into management. It was exciting, but it was scary. And so this book is all about going into your next level, your next chapter. It's something that's scary and new, but being prepared and creating a framework for yourself. And I have a framework called Thrive, the acronym Thrive. And through this framework, you set yourself up for success in your next level, as well as sustainability. So I've written it for clinicians, but I'm telling you, people from all disciplines are tapping in to this book. And I can share with you Thrive real quick. The Thrive acronym: trusting your leadership identity is T, knowing who you are as a leader. You don't even need a title to be a leader. You how you show up for yourself and how you show up for your community, and really owning that, even if you don't have it, you've got naysayers around, knowing who you are, harnessing your strengths and leveraging that. That's H. For your next level, understanding your gifts and talents. R, rebounding from setbacks. So we all are going to make mistakes, but how we get up and focusing on that get up is what's important, and having that ecosystem around us so that we can get up quickly. Let's see, I is for impacting economics. So when we're thinking about our next chapter, we think about how it will improve us financially. And then when we get there, how can we improve those around us financially? And then V, which is my favorite, valuing our success circle. So who is in proximity to us? Are these people in proximity to us, affirming us, edifying us, helping us to be better, challenging our perspectives, cheering us on? Or are we not being edified by them at all? And they might need to be moved a little bit further away from us, right? And then E is for empowering ourselves with resources. So all about what do we know, what do we don't know for this next level. And what we don't know, we're committed to filling that gap and understanding what we need to do to be successful. And so that's my framework, Thrive, right? And I've lived it. That's my conviction. And I wanted to share it with the world. And I put it in this book. And so it's available online and on Amazon, and also online Barnes and Noble. So it's been a blessing for me, and my prayer is that's a blessing to a multitude of others.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. And I will have a link to that Amazon purchase in the show notes. And I need
Okay.
to get that myself. So then, how does one find you online and to arrange
Yes.
leadership consultation or coaching, leadership
Right, right.
coaching?
I believe we all need a coach. I sure wish I had a coach, gosh, long time ago in med school, right? Maybe even before med school. I just got into the world of coaching in 2019 after I finished a leadership development program. But anytime, you might feel stuck, which way do I go? A coach can be helpful to kind of help you get unstuck. You're going into a new territory, a new level, a new job, a new promotion, a new phase of life, and you want to be set up for success. A coach can be valuable there. You just want to make sure that you have the right questions asked of you so that you can really be sure and have clarity and that you're in alignment, right? And that's the job of a coach, to really ask really strong, powerful, thought-provoking questions. So I love coaching my peer physicians. I love coaching residents and medical students and healthcare providers and professionals. You can find me on my website at www.drmaia.coach. So www.dr.maia.coach. And you can also find me on LinkedIn. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn and have learned and learn a lot and have great conversations there. And I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks to my 14-year-old, I'm on TikTok now. She's like,
I'm
"Mommy, you need
following
a
you on
TikTok,"
TikTok.
and so she got that set up for me. So that's Dr. Maia Leadership Coaching, one word. So Yeah. I can't wait to hear your story. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Well,
Okay.
that is exciting. I am following you on TikTok, and
Hey.
we're going to keep amplifying this because I think this is fantastic. Before we wrap up, share with my audience the letters behind your name because there's lay people
Yes.
watching.
Okay.
So they know what the MD is. I'm curious about your MPH studies
Oh,
and what the
yes. Yes.
FACHE stands for.
Yes. Okay. Well, great. These letters, I'm so intentional about what I do. And so these letters, they all tell a story. And so it's just blessings in each of these letters that I've received. So, of course, the medical degree, that's a whole journey of itself, right? And really, my core gifts there of helping others through healing. My MPH is Master in Public Health. So I always had two sides of me. I love direct patient care, but I also love the psychosocial environmental factors that affect health, community. I always say health happens at home. What are we discharging a patient to? What is the patient leaving your clinic office and going home to? That's where the health is, and really be able to integrate those two. And so a master in public health really fit me and my personality, what I wanted to do. Of course, FACP is the fellow for ACP, fellow status, right? And so just another designation. Committed to ACP, committed to growing as a physician and developing and making change and difference. And then FACHE, that's fellow for the American College of Healthcare Executives. And so American College of Healthcare Executives it's a great organization I joined back in 2015 when I was first tapped into leadership and I just made achieved my first leadership management role. And a real quick funny story, I was in my executive nurse executive's office. On her table there, in her office, she had this journal and it had all these topics on there, change management and leading teams and all these great things. I said, I need to learn this so I can be a good manager coming from the front line. I need to be a good leader. And it was the journal of healthcare management, and that was from the ACHE. And I joined that day, and I haven't looked back. 2024, I was Nevada chapter president. So I've been an advocate for the organization, and it's helped me grow in leadership and get that language together and lead teams and will have people want to follow me. And the fellow designation was it certifies you as having a certain level of business acumen as far as healthcare administration. And that was important for me so that I knew I had the certain knowledge I needed to navigate and do well in leadership. So those are my letters.
Bravo, bravo. And you are the valuable resource. Your website, drmaia.coach,
Mhm.
that will be in the show notes.
Yes.
We appreciate your time. I love what you say on your website. You were chosen to lead. Let's make sure you're ready. Helping,
Yes.
yeah, helping high performing physicians stepping into leadership build the executive presence, strategy, and confidence to lead without burning out or losing who they are. How
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank
That's
you for
it.
your work. I'll leave you with the last words before we sign out.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. G. This was just a wonderful conversation. I just encourage everyone to trust yourself, trust your voice, don't hesitate, speak up, speak with confidence, and own your space, own the room. What you have to say is just as important as anyone else.
Amen. And we're going to sign out on that.
All right.
Peace.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much for having me.